warm welcome. Hey, thanks for joining me guys. And Cancer, this is your September reading. We are using 3 different decks and you will be able to follow the system once I lay them all out and get them onto the table. It takes a little bit more shuffling, but I think it's well worth the effort as it's a really colourful, vibrational reading with lots of wonderful messages. So Cancer, shuffling for you for September. And just before I start, some of the words that I had got for you guys before the reading, I think you might like this, were twin flame, together and bonds. So let's see what shows up with the cards that come. This is for Cancer for September. They won't even go back in. So the first one is the 6 of Swords. The second one, the 10 of Wands, the Magician, and the Page of Rods. I might just move them up a little bit. Now the next deck is the John Holland Psychic Tarot. This is a beautiful deck of cards to work with. It's extremely powerful with the vibration of colour and its messages as well. So a little bit more shuffling. As I said, it does take a little bit longer at the beginning, but I think it's worth it. Remember, we've just come out of the eclipses in August and they strike up a lot of powerful emotions and energies. In your middle row, we have one of each of the colours there, representing one of each of the different realms of the tarot. So we only have one major arcana card, the Magician, which is a beautiful one to have, and we will see what the last deck is going to offer you. This is the Oracle deck. Travel. Oh wow, nice. That's the travel card, and so is that. Wow guys, oh my goodness, and a holiday. It sounds like you need to take it easy while you're on your holiday. Okay, so nice mix going on here for you Cancer. We are reading this way, so that's the first week, second, third and fourth. And I see plenty of that beautiful purpley mauvey bluish hues coming through, which is often the spiritual colour and often the feeling of third eye activation as well, where we get our intuitive energies from and where our psychic intention and our connection to the spiritual comes from. So perhaps there will be an activation of that for you guys in the month. So if we start off supposedly in this first week, but remember that the flow of cards does transmute through the whole month. It's not set in stone at any point. So the first card is the 6 of Swords, and then the 4 of Cups, and then the Travel card. The top and the bottom one both refer quite specifically to travel. So some of you Cancerians, you might be going abroad or you might have travel on your mind. It might even just be a trip that is local, but it feels as though there's travel or a holiday involved with you guys in the month of September. The very first card, the 6 of Swords, it can represent more of an allegorical travel as well, as such that it is through, we are passing through something that we are leaving behind and moving into new waters, calmer waters. So if some of you have had a situation around you or people around you where things haven't been smooth, it's going to transition out a little bit, and through movement you are going to make it calmer. Now sometimes this does mean actually moving away from something. So you could be leaving, hello darling, hello Enzo. You could be leaving something behind. It could be a job, it could be people or relationships as well. So there does feel to me to be quite a lot of movement in your reading, and I think it's movement from your end away from things that perhaps aren't, you know, serving your best interest. So there are many different perspectives for that 6 of Swords, but there is no doubt that there is movement and flow taking you to a place where you'd rather be. And as I say, that could be a physical place on the planet, or it could be an emotional place within relationships or within your own space of how you want things to be. But we come to the card underneath and we also see their discontent and boredom. Now often the Four of Cups represents a time when we can be offered things by others, but we may not feel it's good enough. So some people could be coming to you and saying, oh, you know, either I'm sorry, let's try it again, or hey, I'd love to be your new friend, or here's a job offer. And you sort of go, no, I'm not really feeling it here. I don't think these things are quite what I'm looking for, and I'm not that content with what's going on. So the beginning of the month of September feels to me as though you guys have decided to uproot a bit and move things along. And this, as I say, I feel it's coming from your end, not so much the other people's ends. It's more about you making some decisions about, you know, why should you be doing things that aren't fulfilling or aren't making you happy, or you're wasting your time with ideas or people or situations that don't seem to be rewarding for you. And there is no point. You know, sometimes we have to, of course. There are certain rules and obligations that we have to fulfill. But if it becomes too much of a chore and we have another goal in mind, then we can aim to head off on that goal. And I think that that's quite often what this card suggests in many ways as well, that you're onto that cusp of thinking, yeah, I think it's about time to make the change one way or another. And then we see down here in this one here, travel. It says an upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. So again, for you guys, this travel could mean you are either moving town or city. It could be that you're going on holiday. It could be for a business reason, and it could be very successful from that perspective as well. Whatever it is, it feels like it brings about some change. You know, sometimes even when we go on a holiday, it changes our perspective of life. We go and visit a foreign country or a foreign system, people, and we think to ourselves, wow, you know, either that's cool or gee, I'm really pleased with the way I live, or pleased with my home and where I live. But either way, it often brings change, and change of our thoughts and directions. So travel is often the moment in time after we've been on a trip that we make new plans and we make changes. So coming into the second week, we see here the Ten of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Holiday card. So the Ten of Wands is, again, it's about feeling as though you're ready to move on. You've completed some sort of cycle. And sometimes with those Ten of Wands on your back, it can feel like a heavy load, like you've had to do a lot for everyone. And you feel like sometimes you're the main taskmaster, and you're thinking, oh, why don't others help? Or why haven't I had more support? Well, sometimes in life it happens because we have to learn to do something ourselves, and we have to learn to do it well. This card is a good symbol of that. You've done something well, you've learned a lot, you've gained some sort of rewards. So consequently, sorry guys, I've got, I had to stop the video there for a little minute. I just had to let the little puppy out and make sure that the cat was okay. Enzo was alright as well. So back to the reading. That's the nature with life, you know, and here's another message. Sometimes we have the intent to sit down and do something like this, a project which is very important to you all for your reading, and no matter how hard we try, there can be something that interrupts us one way or another. And sometimes those interruptions are important and need to be done, and sometimes they have another extension to them that can help. So by interrupting the flow, sometimes we allow ourselves to see a broader picture, or to see another perspective or another dynamic. And that can be the case too when we've finished something like this and we're ready to move into a new phase. As I said, we do so with all this knowledge and wisdom and learning which we've gained along the way. So it enables us to have a fresh perspective, if you like, on the move as we go forward. Number 5 of Wands, the obstacles and the challenges, can be again related to career, or your passionate side, or the things that you feel creative about, or where you gain your creativity. So it's often associated with career. He is so sweet. He's my very special boy, and he does want to go outside. I'm keeping him in for just a few minutes, so we'll see if he can just sit there and be patient for a little bit longer. Ah, how funny. We've had the discontent and boredom, and we've got the obstacles and challenge, and we've got patience please down here. So we are getting a lot of messages in here about having some sort of patience for you guys. Now, is it patience with relationships, or is it patience with your own ideas, or changes about movement that are coming? So some of you might be going through things that you're wishing to be, much quicker than they are, and you're thinking, hurry it up, hurry it up. Well, the only real timing in this world of ours, in this life, is universal timing. Our 24-hour clock timing is kind of like just a system that we guide ourselves with. But our deep connective timing is much larger and it's universal. So often we don't have the controls over what happens and when. But your obstacles and challenges, coming back to that, are often about saying that there are challenges around. So there are other people who are vying for the same ideas or attention, or possibly jobs as well. So sometimes you can be thinking, oh, I've got this fantastic idea and I'm going to spin it out there and tell everyone and I'm going to do so well. And then you find out 10 other people had the same idea and they got to someone about it first. Sometimes this can also be in reference to relationships, and it could be that you're interested in someone and so are a bunch of other people. And also it can mean that other people are interested in you. So there's a whole different bunch of energies that come in that particular card. And I also just noticing now in this line here in the middle, we've got 4, 5, 3, 3. So 2 3s, and in essence we've got 3, 4, 5. So low numbers, and they're sequential, even though they're not laid out sequentially. But don't worry about that 5, the obstacles and challenges. I think of it as something that will make you work a little bit harder for a goal that you've got, or an idea or a passion that's coming. So don't give up. Patience. Here, the last card is your holiday card, again right next to the travel in the travel row. I don't know what you guys are doing for September. This could well be a holiday that is either in August as well, or even extends beyond September. So enjoy your holiday, and it says the answers you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. And you've basically had that twice, and they're right next to each other because the cards have a very similar meaning. So think really hard what it is when you go on holiday and what enlightenment you can gain from it, or the energies that arrive, or the people you meet, or something, because it's transposing ideas for you as you move forward. So come to the third week, we've got the Magician at the top, probably the best card in the whole deck, number 1. It is a time of magic if you choose to uplift it. So this can be magic in your finances, career choices, your personal life, your health, everything. So for some of you, if you've had a little bit of down health, and this could have been involved with emotional trauma, so other people affecting you in your life, the way relationships have been working out, or other people's energies coming in on you, because Cancers, you are very sensitive, right? And you kind of feel other people's down times, and you feel the stresses a lot more than some of the other signs. So if you have had any periods of feeling blue, or worried about relationships, pull on this Magician energy to try and heal them or bring new ones in. So it is a wonderful card, but you need to actually plug it into the wall socket to make it happen, and to make the energy actually more vibrant and alive. So we come to this one underneath, and this has been out a little bit in the month of September for the readings. I think this is the 3rd time already. So heartache and loss, it can be about a personal close relationship, such as a romantic one, where there's tension and there needs to be a healing take place, and that's usually through good sound communication. Sometimes it even needs mediation. Now sometimes this can be when relationships are taking a separation or a divorce proceedings. It can be business relationships as well as personal. It generally does have the feeling though that it's not going to last for too long, so you get over it somehow. It's like it happens, it's a bit blah, You either reconcile and make up that way, or you are able to move on, possibly because of a new project or a new passion for something else. So what I do like to do with this card is put a heart energy on, just to heal that little bit of heart type pain going through there. But remember what I said, communication can resolve this issue if you work hard enough at it and you're listening, and so is the other person. And again, this can be relationships or businesses. We come down here and it says easy does it, and it says stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. So you've kind of got this synergy of messages through here, and I think if we do control our relationships or how we want outcomes to be, often it can go awry because that's how we want it. And interestingly, I just talked to you about universal timing, and I said the universe is the one that decides when things are actually going to happen for us. We don't have control. So by allowing that need to control situations and people and agendas, you remove the angst, you remove the destiny of it, and you allow it to be more open and flowing. And there's less anxiety with it as well. So the more I think about it, the more the messages come through. Before, when we had the interruptions, that they're telling you there is an interruption going on at the moment for some reason, and it might not be one that you're that happy with, but it's playing out in the long run for the very, very best. So allow it to be, and just take that easy does it flow. You know, all of these are wonderful too down here. Travel, holiday, easy does it. What do we do when we're on holiday? We usually easy doing it. Well, that's unless you're going, you know, mountain climbing or you're doing an extreme sport. But for most of us on holiday, we're enjoying it. We're just allowing it to be. We're watching. We're surveyors. You know, we're just surveying the scenes we see, and we're taking in things, and we're not necessarily trying to change anything. We're participating in it and watching it from a distance. So I feel quite strongly that your message is there for you. And the words I got at the beginning, the twin flame and the together and the bonds, there must be something in there along those lines that are either behind all of this or coming in time, that you're wanting to come now, and your timing is you're pushing it a little bit hard. So it's about slowing that down, rethinking it, pacing it through, and allowing the universe to deliver for you in its own timing. So we come to the final week and we see the Page of Rods, your only court card, the Three of Pentacles, and patience, please. Yeah, you've had a lot of, it's just kept coming through. So, you know, when I do a reading, I have no set agenda when I start, and sometimes the cards, you start with a particular message or a flow, but during the reading it changes, and you have to go, okay, well, I'll go with whatever's coming because that's what needs to be said. So your one in particular has had a lot of stuff come through it that kind of altered from the very beginning to the outcome. So that's another reason it's worth always listening to the whole reading, because quite a lot occurs within the reading, and messages are fairly powerful, and they give you insight for the month and as you move forward. But the Page of Rods, he is looking into your future, and he is the creative source energy, so it can be about your career and what you're passionate about. He can often turn up when we have the opportunities of new jobs or new ideas coming to us, like a new novel. You might have an idea for writing a book or creating something like a new app for a computer company, or creating a new business, or creating a new pathway for yourself over the next few years. It's all of these type of energies. So I think you finish, you know, the three cards here in the end are quite forward looking, or taking you into the future with the steps that you are firmly placing now. Because this one here, number 3, recognition and reward, is the Three of Pentacles. And again, it's quite often about career and being rewarded and having success and being noted by people around you for the good work you're doing. So there's achievement within this card, and there's scholarly achievement as well. So either exam successes or job or career success, or passionate creative success. It can even be something that you are awarded for. So your name may end up being put somewhere, and other people hear of it as well. So it is an accolade, and it is something to be proud of, and it's something that you've achieved. So always honour those moments and really connect with them and feel good about them. It can also be about the fact that when you get these achievement zones in your life, they're often the stepping stones, and he's on stepping stones, to taking you to the next junction, the next move, the next jump up. And as it's the end of the month, and we're moving into the rest of the year, it feels like this energy is going to propel itself forward, and that's what's going to happen. So then we have patience, please, and it says what you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. And I really like that that card has come at the end, because we have actually spent quite a lot of time talking about this, and I feel really strongly that that message, they've just gone, yeah, bang, bang, bang with it. They've been quite forceful, and I haven't been able to escape it. So it's all about timing, and it's all about letting go of control, and it's all about understanding that stuff you want is coming. And if it's not here for you yet, don't give up. Visualize it, feel into it, give it love and light, and know that it will eventuate. So there you are, Cancerians. That's a pretty full-on reading. It was quite combobulated or discombobulated, but we got there in the end. So thank you all for joining me and subbing and liking and leaving your comments. I love it, and I appreciate you all listening. I love doing these readings for you. And in fact, all of your support has enabled me to become number 19 of the top psychics in the world. And although my what I really am is more of a spiritual counsellor, I am, you know, my psychic background is, I guess, where you do your spiritual counselling from. So thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful month ahead. Enjoy it all, and just know that good things are coming. Much love. Namaste.